Hi there and welcome back to chapter 4, part number 21. We continue with the building and focus on the chimney. It's one of the final models we make for this design, so that will be cool. So on the reference you see this chimney and we're gonna make it. So let's get started. We add a cube and drag this on top or on the place where the chimney is on the reference. Then we go to edit mode and scale this. And the reason I'm not switching to the third layer is that I need the shape of this building to have a sort of a reference. So make it a bit bigger. I prefer to have a big chimney. Drag this to the roof. Move these vertices a bit upwards and grab these. So we have the curve of the roof. It's very hard to match if we need to do that afterwards. So grab these, press E, drag these down, press S, and a bit more inside of the building, S, S, Y. All right, so this will blend the chimney more into the building. So lower this a little bit. Yeah, and if we zoom in, we have a sort of two curves. So 1, 2. So we need to recreate that as well. Press E. So we have this, and E again, S, drag this, and extruding it again. And we have a bit more of this design. All right, pretty nice. Good, so we're now ready to apply a texture on the chimney. Go for some extra edge loops on all sides so we can add some variation into it later. Go for a bevel, Control B. Very simple, not too much. There as well, Control B. This side. And I want one over here, more extreme. So this will blend it more. Yep, with the ceiling. And one on top. Not everything is selected. But now we have Control B. All right. So it's ready for texture. I want to use the bricks we used here on the bottom, but make some additions. I want to blend a more darker color and some plaster. So we go for a new one, click on bricks, click on the 2. So we make it a separated object between, yeah. If it was a very advanced one, we could copy the settings. But yeah, it was only a brick texture. I call this brick chimney. Oh, it was with a C, typo. Yeah, focus on the chimney and make a projection. Control L, check if rotation scale is set, and go for smart UV projection. Just want to see how that works out. Yeah, looks pretty good to me. So only thing we need to do is go to the brick and go take a look at the chimney and scale it. Yes. There is a sort of issue, and that is that things are rotated. So we need to rotate it back. So I use the snapping tool for this. Okay. There's another part as well. And what I want to do is put these in line. And if that doesn't work, or that one, okay. The problem with this is with smart UV projection is that you have less control on matching these with each other. Because now you have a very hard seam. So there are two things we can do. Go for a cylinder projection. And scale this. You can see it's way better now. And just by experimenting, I mean, most of the time you never use a cylindrical projection on an object like this. But I thought, oh, let's give it a try. Yeah, I think we should leave it like this. And focusing now on the bottom part. So add a new texture, new image, and I have in my library a ceiling texture, that one, and it needs to be applied on these sides we just created. Okay, and you can see it doesn't look really good, so this needs a different map. Project from view, open the ceiling, yeah, and we need to do this for every single side. So that will take some time, but we have all the time in the world, right? And assign it and call it ceiling. It's easy to find when you need to use it again. Okay, this side, and deselect these. You project from view SX, and no rushing. This doesn't need to be very quick. Assign it. Let's calling it ceiling 01 because we already have a ceiling, so let's go for ceiling _2. That's way better than 001. And one for these. And I agree, it's not the most professional looking UV map, but I tried so many things, and sometimes this works very fast. If you go for large scale environments and you want to do everything exact, you will drop and you will lose motivation. So you need sometimes sort of quick hacks or quick tools for unwrapping. If you go for very specific subjects, you may want to spend some more time, but yeah, this is how I do it right now. Okay, brick chimney. I want to go more advanced with mixing a more darker color and some plaster. So we go to the node editor. There it is. Delete the diffuse because we want the principled shader. Add. In the next lecture we will go full into the shading part, but now it's about mixing some of them and not putting all the maps onto it. So Shift D, clicking, and Alt right mouse button for a mix node. Use the node wrangler to do that. Apply it if you do not have it. So Alt right mouse button, you have it. Add convert a color ramp and a noise texture. Well, you know the workflow now. It's not that advanced, it's just that I find a technique and use it over and over again. If it works and it looks good, why changing it? Good. And color, brightness and contrast, and use -0.07. So it's not that dark, just a smooth darker color, and change these values to make a nice mix. Use a value of 3 or 2 for mixing them together. I think this is too extreme. Yes. Okay. No, too extreme. Very gentle colors. So we have some dark spots, but not everywhere. And I want to apply a plaster. So this will be very quick. Duplicate an extra mix node. Put the plaster right there. Of course, we need to select the plaster. There it is. And it needs to load, of course. Blender needs to calculate. You can see it's blending. Duplicate the color ramp. Change this to a value of 2. Because we want more separated, not tiny dots of plaster, just large scale. And put this output from a color ramp in the second mix node. Right there it is. And sharpen them a bit more, because now they are really just there. And change the detail to 8 or 9. I go for 9, so it makes more sharpening. Add a factor bump and use the output of this color ramp in the heat and put the normal inside of the normal of the principled, what adds this nice crunchy effect on it. So all right, maybe blend it a bit more into the roof. So we have a nice looking chimney with plaster and a darkening color. All right, so what is next? So in fact, we have all the parts modeled. We turn around. You can see I also added these ornaments. That was a sort of a task that you could do without my help. If it doesn't work, you just download the blend file and watch how I did it. In the next lecture, we will fix all the broken parts. So there are some parts, like there is one there, what looks ugly, and yeah, and here, over there, and there. There are some broken parts, and we need to fix it. And in the one after that, we go into the more advanced materials. So adding all the maps on the boot, because right now we do render, it will look shiny, and we have some nice PBR maps for this. Okay, see you in the next lecture. Bye bye.